Okay, let's get this 2020 year in review started.
Nope.
What are you open?
What is this?
This is my shirt.
I'm all about animal prints, but this is not how we're going to do this video.
This is our 2020 year in review video, and at peak lockdown was Tiger King madness.
That seems so long ago.
It does, doesn't it?
But
did that even happen this year?
Seems like forever ago.
I don't know. The pandemic has warped time in some form or fashion, but no, this is my official 2020 shirt, Tiger King. I guess the Tiger King shirt was a little too loud, so I'll go with this one.
This one isn't loud.
2020 is bullshit.
It was. It was
yeah.
Bullshit.
You got this for me.
I did get it because for real, 2020 was.
2020 is bullshit.
With that dance. All plaid, all plaid, all clad.
All clad in all plaid. All clad in all plaid.
Mm-hmm.
Rhymes. I got them.
'2020 year in review. Not much happened.
We thought it would be fun to cap the year off with the 2020 year in review. Take a look back at what we've done, what we've not done, how things have gone, how many times she's wanted to murder me, which is how many times?
Too many to count.
I didn't know it was that bad. I guess, before we dive too much into talking about a lot of stuff, for us, we've been very lucky in 2020. As far as either of us know, we've not had COVID. If we have, it's been asymptomatic. She's had the antibody test, which helps to show if you've had it. Again, everything's not foolproof right now, but it helps to show if you've had it, and it came back negative that she's not had it. We've been very careful from early days, early with the masks and being careful with that. But also, we're very lucky that we've had some close friends who have had it, but they've all recovered, and we've not lost any family members or had any family members that have had serious complications due to it.
People directly affected by COVID or families directly affected by COVID, but also there's been indirect consequences. A lot of people have lost their jobs, have had, other troubles and everything else. So we were also lucky in that aspect. Like, we were busy. Brad was busy with with his previous job, essentially was geared up a lot because everything needed to be virtual more than it already was. And then for me being an infectious disease specialist, like you guys can imagine, I was a little bit busy, but so we didn't really have to worry about that. I know we had friends who had to shut down for a little bit, and then when they were able to open up, still have to take a lot of precautions and safety precautions and cleanings and everything else. And I can't imagine how much stress that causes. So we have been lucky for that. I made a list so we know what to talk about.
Don't pull it off so fast.
It's so waxed.
Yeah, I don't need my forehead waxed. I don't think, do I?
You know what I forgot to write on the list? I forgot to write that we started a YouTube channel.
I already had that top of mind too.
I was like, oh wait, that's a big thing that happened.
I think we started the channel in May of this year, and it was a combination of stuff. One, I was looking to get back into doing some video editing and videography. This is something that had interested me since high school. Early this year, had some friends who were looking to kind of start up a YouTube channel. They had quite a following on TikTok, and they asked me if I would help. But at the same time, we decided we wanted to kind of do our own thing, and just kind of a way to originally to kind of just document the wedding journey was the first thought. But then it changed into so much more as 2020 evolved and just became a creative outlet for both of us.
I learned a lot personally, because I didn't know anything about anything really. We watched quite a few of Brad's old films and videos, the Apartment R video, and the whole time I was like, what?
Classic.
I'm like, what am I watching? Boys are stupid. But yeah, it was cool because that was a part of Brad that I got to know through this and still get to know through this whole endeavor.
Yeah. And if you've been with us from the beginning, or if you go back and watch from the beginning, I think you'll see our videos kind of evolve and change. The quality definitely has gotten better. We've gotten some decent equipment, which I'm super excited about. I think at the beginning might have bit off a little bit more than I could chew, as far as I had these grand ideas about. If you watch the very first episode, super proud of it. I think it's awesome. And that was a lot of work for both of us. Like, she was getting frustrated with me with
we
constantly
spent like 8 hours filming like a 8-minute video.
Well, constantly the filming different things and then doing these little skits. But we decided that, we wanted to make things a little bit more simple and also focus on some other things. So we started incorporating some food, trying different types of foods.
Wedding planning. And
then
living together as a multiracial couple.
Mm-hmm.
Doing life together.
A little bit of makeup stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was good. All right. Well, but yes,
anyway.
We started this YouTube channel. Thank you to everybody who's watched and subscribed. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed doing it. Even if you've not enjoyed watching them, we've enjoyed making them. So that's really all that matters.
All right. So what are you doing?
2020.
Okay. Anyways, so let's start with engagement. Newly engaged.
Yeah, we were engaged December 30th, 2019.
2019. We never really got a chance to celebrate our engagement that much.
The year started off pretty busy for both of us with a lot.
I had to travel. I remember
I had to travel too. The last traveling that I did, it was like right middle. And I went to Texas, to Houston for work, to the Space Center. That was in 2020. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That was like right before everything fell apart.
Don't remember. Because I went to DC.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember.
So it was a busy start and didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to celebrate and everything. And we're planning to do more celebrating later on. And of course,
JK.
Just like everything else.
The COVIDs. March 15th, I think, was the day that I remember. I remember calling. I mean, obviously everyone remembers March, but I remember texting him because we got an email. I was at work and we got an email saying, pack what you need to start working from home starting in a couple of days. So I was like, we need to set up our home office. Or like, do you have a monitor I could borrow?
So yeah, I was already working from home.
Yeah.
I've through 3, soon to be 4 different jobs have worked from home for a decade now. And I enjoy it. This was our first time.
Yeah. It was a learning curve, I would say. I took over the dining table. So that's how I started. It took me quite a while to be okay working from home, but I got the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that, with quarantine, we took a cruise in November of last year for 11 days. And I would always joke with Brad that, we'll find out if we can handle each other because we'll be enclosed in a space for 11 days. And then I always joked with my friends about like, if we don't kill each other in 11 days, like we'll probably be okay. But like 11 days was nothing compared to this year.
Rewinding real quick. It's the rewinding noise. I moved in at the end of December 2019. So right around the time of the proposal and everything is when I moved in. So we were newly living together too.
Yeah.
When lockdowns and COVID and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Through quarantine, we learned a lot about each other. Learned a lot about living together. I think it's been fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think
it's been great, actually.
It's one thing to be living together and learning about living together. It's another thing to be living together and be quarantined together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an even another thing to be living together, quarantined together,
working together
in the same place, having to balance all of those things. 2020 has been rough on a lot of relationships for that reason, of just kind of being forced to deal with each other all the time and not having, because everybody needs some time to themselves or time with friends or things like that. And throughout all of this, you've not really been able to have that if you've been, living kind of safely and socially responsibly and everything like that, which we've tried to do. And so, yeah, I think it's been good for it. I think it's been good for us. I think so too. I don't think it would have been bad if it hadn't happened to us, of course, but I think we've grown closer as a result.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we've gotten down how to live together, live with each other, but also, we've approached this in a way that basically is like, okay, after we get married and want to start a family and stuff like that, like, we may not get our time, and like, so this is our time. Mr. Grumbles over there.
Yeah, H-dub.
What you guys say?
A lot.
We approach that as like, let's use this as our time. And it's been, little things, obviously living together, trying to get used to each other's habits and everything else. And that's a stressor. Planning this damn wedding is a huge stressor. But I would say like we've had a chance to do things that we normally wouldn't do. Like I was writing down all these things, but like cooking together, like you had mentioned earlier, but also like our walks. Like we always walk the pups together. Or
almost
always. If I have a migraine, then Brad is kind enough to walk both of them.
But yeah, I think if you could get through this year, and we were able to get through this year without any problem, serious problem, of course, with any relationship or any family or any even friends living together or something, you're in such close quarters, there's going to be times where you butt heads a little bit, but you're figuring things out and you're learning. I think for us, that's been very infrequent, very few times that there's been any problems, but we've learned so much about each other and become stronger together. And I think it's been good in a weird sort of way.
Yeah.
You don't wish that this had happened. Right. Like, of course, we didn't want this to happen, but
would not recommend using this way to learn about each other.
Avoid 2020 at all costs. But for us, trying to make the most of it and get the positives out of it, that's one of the positives from it, is that we've grown stronger.
Yeah, definitely. And then we, I mentioned the walks. We cooked together a lot more. Didn't drink as much as some other people would.
We drank less.
Yeah, we drank less. As
a result of quarantine. Because most of our drinking occurs when we're out with friends. Yeah. We've got a lot of great breweries around here in Charleston that we enjoy going out to dinner, having a few cocktails, a lot of great places to get cocktails. We've not been doing as much of that. And so we've actually drank less when a lot of people have been drinking more because of quarantine. We've drank less because of quarantine. I think we're both healthier than we were a year ago.
I also would say like probably some of that is intertwined with like me driving the like let's be healthy for the wedding and stuff train. So
probably.
And the other part is also like little things like I mentioned earlier. We have weekly ice cream dates, even though it's 25 degrees outside.
Which tomorrow's double points at Marble Slab.
Let's go.
So we have.
I'm gonna be so. It's just like ice cream. It's just so good.
So good. And there's always room for ice cream, right? Because it melts over whatever you have in your stomach. Even if you're completely full, there's always room for ice cream.
It melts over.
It melts over. It fills in the crevices that are there, right? Like if you just had like some mashed potatoes, if you had some mashed potatoes and some mac and cheese and maybe some turkey or something like that, that's all in your stomach, but it's not quite meshed together yet. There's going to be spaces, like gaps, and you can't fill that in with more food. It can't get through, right? So you eat ice cream and it melts over the top of it, and then it gets in there and it aids in digestion and everything. So I think it's a perfectly acceptable thing.
Hey, Marble Slab, if you're looking for a hype man.
Hey, unlimited mix-ins at no extra charge.
Brad's your guy.
I'm your guy.
And then the other thing that also came together as a team from quarantine. Whatever, that makes no sense. Something else that we have been intentional.
Quarantine.
Yeah, quarantine. We just talked about how much we've been able to spend time together and then have that time with each other. But something that we have also been thankful for is just planning life as a unit, I'd say, and having goals, having discussions, very intentional discussions about like what life is going to look like after marriage and everything else, because we've had the time, we've been forced to be around each other and like address some of those issues, which definitely, like I said, would not recommend finding this way into like trying to have those conversations, but I'm glad it's kind of forced us to just be as open and then discussing literally, starting to discuss this like important parts with each other and not waiting until after marriage to do that.